You know,
What's going on, man?
I'm a little
Frank Starfire.
nice to meet you.
And, I'm a simple guy, and I live my life by really simple means, you know what I mean? And, I live by simple mottos and credos and phrases and everything, because it works for me, you know what I mean? Lately, I've adopted a new... Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Frank Starfire, and this here is the Just to Be Frank podcast. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I ain't got much to say about this one, man. You know, look, the person I'm about to speak to today is one of my oldest friends in the whole world, and I can't lie, she's definitely one of the main reasons that I am where I am today, man. And she may not even realize that. She's she's an awesome person, and I'm glad to have her. She's a phenomenal makeup artist. She's probably the biggest Mary J. Blige fan I've ever met in my motherfucking life. She's a mom. She's a wife. She's a daughter. She's a sister. She's family. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Relly P, Terrell Nurse, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I hate Zoom sometimes. See, I got the name right, though, you see? Because in my mind, I still call her Relly P. We're just waiting.
Frank Star, what are you over there talking about?
I'm laughing at the fact that in my mind, I still call you Relly P. Terrell Nurse. I got the name right, but in my mind,
No.
Yeah, I can't.
For you, I'm always Relly P.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I can't see you yet, but but it's fun.
I didn't know we were doing video.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, man, this live, girl. Come on now. Why is your hair messed up?
Well, I'm in the middle of like doing multiple things.
Girl, come on now. You better act like we family. You forget all that. I ain't worried about all that. You see my office? It's got to.
Look. At least you have an office. Give me 2 seconds because I have.
As my friend Safi tells me, I'll banter a bit.
Yes.
I got a few amazing guests coming up in the next few weeks. My friend Tamika Anthony. She's a forensic toxicologist, so be on the lookout for that. That's going to be fun. I'm actually going to have the ladies from the Crystal Garden on again in the coming weeks, so be on the lookout for that as well. That one's going to be here in studio because, you know what I'm saying, I did the night day environment. I want them to come into mine, and if they're going to burn some sage on it, then, we'll be all right with that, I'd rather the professionals do it. What else? I'm actually planning a roundtable discussion to talk about health and wellness, and I'm going to have Tamika on that panel as well. That's going to be a panel discussion here on the Just to Be Frank podcast, so be on the lookout for that. And I don't know, man. I'm gonna keep picking my hair. I'm about to lock this shit because, as you can see.
All right, Frank, I'm here. Sorry, I have to get it together.
Yeah, listen. So you did the super quick mom clean.
No, I didn't. I work from home, so.
Well, everybody work from home, girl. Come on now.
Yeah, not everyone's as fortunate. So
true. This is true.
Yeah.
I still work at Home Depot. I'm gonna edit that out because I don't think I want them to know that I do this.
You're so silly. This is still the same crazy Frank that I always knew and loved. So.
Oh yeah, no, I just got more gray hair. That's all.
Oh yeah, I got about 3 strands.
Oh! You only have 3. You only have 3. Do you see this shit? I got salt and pepper.
I know, but guess what? Your hair is there. That's what matters. I tell my husband that all the time.
I'll take gray over bald any day of the week.
No, not with all that hair, boy.
Nah, man. I can't have the George Jefferson going on with the half of, you know what I mean? Nah.
Yeah.
Fuck that. End it. But how are you, my lady?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. How you doing?
I am awake-ish. So, that's my body's still moving. I'm still got all my moving parts. You know what I'm saying? I haven't broken down yet, and I, good, sort of a good diet, exercise,
That's
all that
good.
jazz, sort of good. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
That's good.
you know me, I'm not a milk drinker. I don't eat cheese, so that
Yeah,
kind
me
of,
either.
that negates a good 90% of,
Large percentage.
yeah,
Sure does.
man. Like, so, and then since I live in Pennsylvania now. You vacated.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, I moved to
We'll
the.
talk outside.
Yeah, man. Well, not it's no secret where I'm at, but I'm in the Poconos. I
Oh,
moved.
you're in the Poconos.
Yeah,
Oh, that still was far from me. I was in Westchester. Okay.
right, which is
Hmm.
a bit far, but they have elk.
Right.
They have elk over there, from what I understand.
Yes,
So I'm gonna have to get over there anyway, because
you do.
yeah, I want to hunt.
Yep, you do. They
Yeah.
they have a lot. Unfortunately, I'm not into all of that,
No,
but
of
they do
course,
have a lot of hunting that goes on in that area.
of course, of course.
Mhm.
How's your moms? How's your brothers?
She's doing good. My brothers are doing great. They're aging slowly, which is what I love.
Right.
But my mom is with me now. She's been with me the last 4 years.
Okay.
So it's been a change in pace, literally.
Hmm.
But yeah, we're doing good over here. Nobody's gotten COVID yet, so knock on wood with that one.
Look,
Yeah.
man, I'll tell you what, man. This whole COVID shit has shown me a number of things. Really, number one, it's
Mhm.
easy to control people who are afraid. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? And if you didn't already,
Absolutely.
and if we didn't already know that, then this kind of cemented that idea in our heads. It's very easy to control an afraid populace.
Mhm.
The other thing it showed me is that the government lords over us in a way that makes no sense to me, because the Constitution, and I remember, I didn't go to school much. I kind of cut a lot, but I remember this.
No, but you were very smart though, even with cutting. You're like my
But
husband.
I
Never went to
remember.
school, but very intelligent.
But I remember this. I remember this because distinctly, the Constitution says, "We the people," not "we
Right.
the government."
The government. Right.
Why is it that we fear the government instead of the government fearing us? You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's a very weird thing that I don't understand.
Yeah.
But
It's not meant for us to understand, but it's definitely higher powers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, what are we eating?
When
And
you're
where's
dealing
my
with power like that on that level, you will scare a lot of people who never even had the ability to have a bit of power, or at
right?
least feel that they, had power. So that's what it all boils down to at the
Hey,
end of the
look,
day.
listen, man, and but you know what? I think the only way for us to gain power, unfortunately, is going to be to take it. And that's going to require something beyond just violence. It requires actual organization and confronting the past in a way that will allow people to heal from it, because that's the biggest thing, I think. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks about reparations in the form of a check. Sure, there should definitely be a couple of those thrown out, but
Right,
it should
right.
also be just a literal access to equal opportunity. I remember growing up in New York and being in the New York City public school system. You know what I noticed? That shit sucked.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
But I will say this, with it sucking, I've absolutely gained some valuable knowledge that I feel um, even a private school or
Mhm.
a better neighborhood couldn't provide for me.
Mm.
I learned how to survive. I learned how to manipulate. Let me just say, be passive aggressive.
I was gonna say,
Um,
manipulate.
no, but and I use the word manipulate because I mean Andrew Jackson, and I'm gonna call it that, not campus
Yeah,
magnet,
because
but
I don't
Andrew
call it
Jackson
that.
has a history of
Yeah.
manipulators, and not in a
Yes.
bad way, but you just learn. You learn the
Mm-hmm.
ways of life, you learn the
Mm-hmm.
ways of the streets,
Yep.
and even if you're the most quiet person, you learn how to adapt, which kind of I feel like in itself it helps you later on in life
Oh.
somewhat. I can relate to a lot of things if I go back to those years and I'm like, I wouldn't say I would completely say I hate the school or I didn't grow up in a great area, because there's certain things my kids should know and they just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Partly my fault,
Well, they don't
but
have that street smarts. You need the
exactly.
balance. You
Yep.
need you need
Jackson
the
gave it to
balance.
us. That's for sure.
Not only Jackson, but it was honestly. I think about it in a way like, yo, I cut school every day to
Mm-hmm.
go hang out with my friends on 202, and
Mm-hmm.
all we did was smoke weed and play video games. But I also sat there and read that textbook that I stole,
Right.
and because they
Yep.
didn't need it, I
I
wanted it.
know. And,
They
and
didn't
and
need
Frank, that's why you're so well versed. Let's be honest. You are
it.
very
That's
well
what.
spoken.
That's
Can't
one
take
of
that from you.
that's one of the reasons. The other is
Mhm.
manners and grammar were very important to my moms and grandmoms, and I'm still scared enough of my moms and grandmoms to have good manners and good grammar. I'm still scared enough
You're a
of.
beautiful mom.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I miss them ladies, man. But I'm kind of, in a way, I'm glad they're not here, but in the same second,
I know.
I miss them every second of every
I
day.
know what you
Man.
mean. But to go through this, I know it is
Oh
a
man,
lot.
screw all this. Like it just
They didn't miss anything. Mm-hmm.
no, no, they really didn't. There was
Yeah.
nothing,
Hmm.
they kind of seen what they needed to see. Obama won that.
Exactly.
Only thing they didn't have for my grandma is the Jets didn't win, the Mets didn't win, and the Knicks didn't win. So,
Right.
you know, I
And
always,
Frank, you're still into your artifacts. I see. Not to change the
oh
topic, but
yeah, no,
you're
man,
loaded in the background.
come on, man. Yeah, I got the cat. Well, all right. So the cat's claw here, the tiger claw. I traded this to my brother Vega. I traded this from him. I gave him a set of throwing knives, and he gave me the cat's claw. Don't That's just it. Did you freeze? Uh-oh. A little bit. That's the cat's claw. Oh, my internet connection is unstable. Your internet connection is unstable. Are you there? Uh-oh.
Looks like some technical.
A couple. Yeah, all right. Yeah, so yeah, no. This the Tiger Claw, I traded Vega a pair of throwing knives for that. So I had a pair of throwing knives. He was like,
Wow.
I give you the Tiger Claw for that. I was like, okay.
I'm just surprised that you would have wanted both. So
Oh, well, I
I
mean,
don't know. You hold your little memorabilia.
I do. I do. You know what's funny? I, this picture right here, I've had that since 1992.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
These
Mm-hmm.
action figures I've had since the late 90s, or you know what I'm saying, early 2000s and shit. Like
Wow.
I always knew that somehow, some way they would find use. You know what I'm saying? So they now are
Right, right.
they're my studio. They're my
They have a
background.
home.
They have a home. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And I you know what it was? After I lost my mom and I lost my grandmas, I had to get out of the city. I just didn't. It took me about 7 years to realize it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't recognize it,
Mm-hmm.
what depression was. I didn't recognize what I was going
Mm-hmm.
through. So once I
Mm-hmm.
moved out here, I can't lie, that healing began. You know what I'm saying? It was very profound. Like the very
Mm-hmm.
first thing I did was I took a Uber up to, because I just got my license last year, so I took a Uber up to like Pocono Pines,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just got out and just walked back to where I was at.
Oh,
And
okay.
I don't know. I walked back to where I was at, and that was like, and it was nice hour, 2 hours. I smoked like 4 joints. What I mean,
That'll do it.
just walking. You know what I'm saying? It was the middle of winter.
Mm-hmm.
There was still a blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm from Queens, man. We don't give a fuck about no goddamn blizzard,
Look, speak for yourself. I'm from there too, but I
man.
don't
You
do
better
polo.
stop acting like you ain't lived through the blizzard.
No,
You
that's
was
why I'm
well,
in the
you was
South, the dirty South now. I'm
oh
born in June and I like the
please.
heat.
We're people who don't know how to drive in the snow. You
Yeah, well, speaking of driving in the snow and you just getting your license, take your time.
I
Okay.
do. Oh, I do.
Okay.
I
Okay.
definitely do. And
Okay.
funny, I don't I still don't I actually don't own a vehicular device yet. I'm still trying to figure out what I want. So,
Listen, you're a first time driver. Don't figure out what you want. Get what is best,
well, that's
what's
what.
suitable, safety, low
Well,
efficient,
well,
could
it's.
save you in an accident, and
I
you're
was
good to go.
looking for safety. I was looking for fuel efficiency,
Efficiency. Mm-hmm.
and like those are really important. Safety number one, because I sell insurance. I know how that works. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the safer it is, the lower my insurance. And of course, here in the Commonwealth, your credit score affects your
It does.
your insurance rate, which is so I've been
Yep.
working on that as
That's what I miss about PA because I'm always on top of my credit. So I was paying like I think $80 a month for insurance, and I
But
do miss that.
I saw this dope Subaru on Carvana. Give me a check, Carvana. I just shouted you out. I seen this dope Subaru. It's all-wheel drive. It's got everything I need. Good safety, good mileage. You know what I'm saying? Low down payment, all that type shit. So I'm thinking
Right.
of I'm looking into that. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Just because they're safe Subarus. My grandma swore by them. You know what I mean? So
Right. Right. Yeah, Subaru is a good car. I'm gonna stick with Toyota though, because I have a 2008 Highlander Toyota,
uh
and my car, I've never been in an accident until I moved to Georgia.
oh
An
shit,
older
girl.
lady actually backed into the front of my vehicle at a light that was yellow approaching red. She could have went, but she decided not to, got scared of oncoming traffic, decided to reverse and smacked into me. But it's still my fault. I'm behind her. But because I was never ever in an accident in all the years I've been driving, they didn't take any points off my license and
Hold
they
up.
reduced the fines.
Hold up.
There you
How
go.
are you at fault?
Well, I'm at fault because there were no witnesses. It was a Sunday. I was just coming from the salon. I was literally 2 lights up from my house and I saw her, but I didn't think she was going to do like a gas reverse. I thought she was just doing one of those,
Creep backs?
because the light, like I said, it was yellow.
Right.
She could have went, but I think she saw the oncoming traffic turning that left and she got scared. So I saw the light come on and I kind of did one of those hesitation. I didn't even bother to like jump because I'm like, she's not gonna ram into me, but she rammed into me. So it was her word against mine, and she tried to. Long story short, I just had regular. I think I had like the coverage where if something falls on your vehicle, like or a deer hits it, you're covered, but not for an accident because my car was so old.
Right.
But I regret it now because that Toyota, I've never been in an accident before, and that's another reason why I was being cheap. I was trying to get it lowered, like in PA, but I've never been in an accident before. And I was like, Terrell, you've been driving all these years. I didn't even know what to do. I had to ask the officer, do I take pictures? Thank God I took pictures because nothing was wrong with her car, but my car was crushed in the front.
Right.
But I say all that to say, I have 215,000 miles on that car between 3 states. So that's New York, Pennsylvania, now Georgia. And I could only attest to the experience I've had with a vehicle. And that Toyota has gotten 2 kids home from a hospital, and so I'm a little loyal to Toyota.
Listen, Toyotas make good cars, and people front on them. Motherfuckers talk about Lexus. Well, guess what? Toyota makes Lexus.
Yeah, right. That's just
it's just a name. Like their tech. Toyota
that's like the Mercedes of their class.
Right. Toyotas make great cars, and I'm not much of a car guy, and I know that there are like 4 cars that are like, ooh, I want one of those, but I'll wait till my podcast starts making me a buku of money, and then I'll do it.
There's only 2 cars I want, but I'm so cheap, Frank, even if I could afford it. I'm still driving that car, by the way, with the front crushed up and everything, but we're in the middle of COVID. I'm not trying to pay a copay, and I haven't had a copay in 5 years. So it's not happening.
You better learn how to fix it yourself at this point. Google
I'm not fixing it because I'm teaching a teen how to drive. So
okay, fair enough. For the boys, man. The boys. Damn, I ain't seen Tyler and them since they was ever babies and shit.
And Tyler just left because I would have let you see him real quick, but he just left. He'll be 17.
He's going to see some chick?
No. He's actually an introvert. He actually went to visit his dad. His aunt came all the way to Georgia from New York to pick him up to take him back so he could spend like 3 weeks there.
Okay.
Because he's doing virtual learning.
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah, I was a little scared because we've been tied up in the house for over a year, but I was like, you know what? We got to move. And the only reason why I do that because my mom's here more so. If my mom wasn't here, we'd be a little bit more out there.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you have to think about the all and not just yourself sometimes. And as much as I can't stand wearing the mask and all that shit, I do it simply because it's kind of like an unspoken contract I've made with everybody to fuck else. Like, while I'm not afraid of this, I don't have any fear of this COVID shit whatsoever. Like I if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Like I'm not like I see no sense in concerning myself with something that I have no control over.
Right. I agree with you to that extent. I am afraid of if I get it where I'm at the time. I like to travel a lot, so I'm not trying to be somewhere in a hospital where I'm just saying if it got to that point, that's my fear. It's not the actual virus, but it's where I would have to be treated for any type of care.
Right, but the truth is, you know,
Mhm.
if you're fairly healthy, you take care of yourself, you eat your vitamins, you eat right, you exercise. Come on, Relly,
Mhm.
come on now. You bet to.
It's true, but I'm not in that category. For I
Why
have some
not?
issues. So
Why
no, I
not?
have some issues. So
Hey, listen.
I'm on the fence of I'm older now. I have a responsibility to take care of three kids and plus my mom. So, it's one of those things where I'm not afraid, but I'm definitely cautious of. So, like you said, wearing the mask. I'm not big on going out to eat because I have OCD. So I think everybody's like contaminating food.
That's fair.
But so I cook mostly myself, but I definitely don't make it a point to travel and take trips outside of the country. I'm being honest. Like
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
do those types of things.
I meant
Mhm.
more like what is stopping you from taking your vitamins and getting some
Oh, no, no, no. I take the
exercise?
vitamins and all
Yeah.
that stuff, but I'm vitamin D. Like now I'm on medication, unfortunately. I'm giving
All
all my
black people
business.
are
But
vitamin D deficient.
yeah, but
It's the melanin.
it's the melanin too. And the truth is the even anemia is really bad with me. So I just worry. Sometimes I do because I've had people very close to me that really got sick from COVID. I
Right.
lost two people. So I think when maybe and they didn't have any conditions, but when they didn't even eat meat like me. So it's like when you kind of think about those things, it could be you. So I just want to always be mindful, taking out the government, not letting them control me, but this is a virus that we don't have much control over.
Right.
And I'm not big on the whole vaccine bit. So I just
Dude.
want to, I just want to move slowly.
Yeah, no,
If you get my drift.
I know. I understand completely
Yeah.
because I feel the same way. Like I'm not getting no stupid vaccine. You can kiss my ass on that.
Right.
But
Right.
I'm trying to develop this level of self-sufficiency to where I can grow my own everything. I can hunt my own food. I can, you know what I'm
Oh.
saying? Like, yeah, I'm trying to get to that point to where if ever anything ever did shut down, I wouldn't have to worry about the
Right. I know
peripheral
because
shit.
I'm gardening. So I get it. I have indoor
Right.
garden and outdoor. So I
You know
understand that.
what? I got to go to Tractor Supply and get a greenhouse because I need a greenhouse. But I got seeds out the wazoo, man. I got some kale. I got some stuff, man. Is my internet really that bad? Damn it! I'm sick of your shit. Fuck Blue Ridge. Right, guys, you pay for good internet and you expect it to work, and then when it doesn't, and who do you call?
I know. I know. But what can you do? What can you do?
Yeah, it's all right. But and the fucked up shit is I forgot what I was saying, and
I remember what you were saying.
oh, good, thank God.
So we actually were talking about, I think when you were saying about the whole picking a car
Oh yeah. Oh no. Right. I remember.
and you said that you had about 3 or 4, but I told you pretty much we going on safety and all that good
Oh
stuff.
no,
So
no,
you
no,
told
no.
me more energy efficient, all that
Right,
stuff.
but no, what I meant was like more along the lines of like the three car. There are like three cars that I
Yeah.
specifically want to own in my lifetime because they're just dope vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
The '67 Chevy Impala,
Okay.
a 1982 Datsun 280ZX. Don't ask.
And you're not into cars?
Yeah,
Okay. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. These are real cars.
No, but you say you're not into cars. You
No, no,
sound
no,
like
no.
you're
Well,
into
all right.
cars.
So the '67 Chevy Impala, that's the car from Supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
But I just love the way it looks. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful
It
freaking piece
does
of
look nice.
machinery.
It's a nice body too.
The Datsun 280ZX, that was my car. My grandmom's had that car. My grandfather had bought it, I guess maybe 2 or 3 weeks before I was born. And I
Wow.
accidentally crashed it when I was like 13. And I'm always, yeah, I was just supposed to roll up the windows. But I heard that purr. It was like, and you know what's funny? I had been driving until I got my license. I had been driving fairly steadily with a permit for like 10 years.
Oh, I bet you have.
Yeah, we're from
Off
Queens.
the Frankie way.
Yeah, so yeah, I was driving dirty, but no accidents, never got pulled over. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. You never got pulled over.
Never got pulled over. Nope, because I drive like somebody's grandma.
So you want to hear something? Then I feel like every black man in America should bow down to you then, because all I hear is that stereotype of
Driving well. Okay.
because
You
you
know,
got the hair,
you know
you
what's
can say the
funny? I'm
same
really,
thing.
motherfuckers be like, yeah, he's playing like Kaepernick. Fuck y'all, all
Right.
right? I've had a fro before Kaepernick was anybody, all right? And
Mhm.
I still knew with Kaepernick. Fuck y'all. But,
Right.
but I've discovered. So I'll tell you a funny story. So one time I was still living in New York. This is like 2011, 2012, right?
Mhm.
So I'm in New York, and it was after work. I was hanging out with this friend of mine, and she's like, "Yo, let's go to the bar." I'm like, "All right, cool, let's do it." And we're in the city, so we try to go to one spot. They didn't let me in because they said
Mhm.
my pants were too baggy. I don't
I
know.
know that to be true.
Yeah,
That's
all
a
right.
common
Well, hey,
thing.
no, this was
Mhm.
like 2012. They had slimmed down some. Like I couldn't fit four
Right.
people in them anymore. But
Right.
either way, fine. We went around the corner. This was like I want to say we was in like Lower East Side.
Mhm.
So we went down the block. There was a little Irish bar. We went in there. So I did 10 shots of Jaeger. She did 10. I did 10. Yeah,
Mhm.
I didn't know no limits back then. I was stupid. Uh, so I'm wobbling about, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go outside and roll a blunt.
Mhm.
So I go outside, and I'm in the front of this bar, and there's a phone booth. And in the phone booth, there's like a bunch of Popeyes, containers and all that shit. Rolling my blunt. No problem. Now I hear the car. I'm again 10 shots of Jaeger. I hear the car door close. I hear behind me, and mind you, I'm at the last. I don't know if you probably have never seen it or rolled a blunt before, but the last part of it, squid. I'm at the last part of it. I'm at the last part of it where you just feeling that last finesse, like, and all I hear is, "Hey, drop it! We're the police!" And I'm like, again, 10 shots of Jaeger. Y'all ain't the cops. Fuck that. Oh shit, y'all are the cops. My bad. Dropped it. So, you know, again, I'm not worried because I'm like, all right, I just got a blunt. They're DTs, whatever.
Mhm.
So they're like,
Mhm.
okay, so they start searching me down. They're like, and mind you, the cop asked me, and he's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing in a phone booth? I'm like,
Mhm.
you see me, I'm just rolling a blunt. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's searching me
Mhm.
down, you know what I'm saying? He's like, you got any weapons on you? I'm like, no, you see me rolling a blunt, I'm drunk. Well, I was like trying to cut you, dude. Like, I'm good,
Mhm.
man. Come on.
Mhm.
He's like, okay, cool. Pulls my wallet out. He's like, where's your ID? I'm like, it's in my wallet. He's like, where's your wallet? He's like, again, these are just not normal things for people. He's like, you got a wallet? All right, where's your wallet? Back pocket, man. Wallet, cool. All right, cool. Because
Mhm.
most black folk don't carry wallets. The only reason
I didn't
y'all
know
carry
that.
the only reason y'all carry purses is because they used to not make clothes with pockets, so it forced you to buy a purse. It's called a female tax.
No, I'm not putting anything in my pockets.
No, I mean, me neither.
Even without, I can't do it.
Well,
I
now I
need a
wear a
purse.
utility belt. I don't have to. But either way,
Ah! Mm.
don't ask. So he pulls my ID out. He's like, okay, he hands it to his guy to go do that. So I'm standing there. I done sobered up now. Uh, and I'm sitting there, and there's a couple of them standing there. We're just sitting there still in. And mind you, I look down, and I'm like, yo, my blunt is still there. So
Mm.
I turn to the guy. I'm like, what y'all gonna do with that? And he's like, look, man, if your ID comes back, you ain't got no warrants or nothing. I don't give a fuck what you do, as long as you don't do it in front of me. I'm like,
Wow.
so
Wow.
I'm gonna pick that up and I'm gonna smoke it. Like I'm
Wow.
gonna pick it up and I'm gonna smoke it. I'm gonna smoke it. And he's like,
Mhm.
again, I don't care. Just don't do it in front of me. And at that
Right.
point, comes back, hands him my ID, hands me back my ID. He's like, hey, have a good night. Be safe. I'm like, hmm. Now I
That was nice.
wonder. Now here's the thing. I've often wondered, what did my complexion play a part in that? You know what I'm saying? Like I've often wondered that. Did
That's
my
a
That's a deep, you know what I'm saying? I have often wondered that. Now, I don't know it. I don't know. I can't answer it. I can say that in my dealings with the police, I don't think I've ever been dealt with in a way that could be perceived as racist or aggressive or anything like that. I ain't never been tackled to the ground by the police. I mean, I've been arrested for stupid shit,
Right.
but that's just
Never
every,
mistreated for,
yeah.
your color. Yeah. I mean, me either, but I know it exists.
Right.
Fortunately for us, we haven't experienced it, but it's out there.
It's,
I would never deny it or anything, but on that whole light skin tip, I'm gonna be totally honest. I definitely feel that there is somewhat of a leverage for us when it comes to certain things.
mm-hmm.
I'm not going to put those things in a box, but I will say, because I've experienced things where I look at someone else and I'm like, wow, they didn't bother me, like being honest,
Right, right,
So I
right.
definitely know that those things exist. So
And I find that to be really kind of interesting. And then, of course, again, the way I talk and,
I was just going to say,
you
well
know,
spoken. Also, what I used to get a lot when I lived in Pennsylvania, because I think I got pulled over twice, and it was when I was adjusting coming from New York, because I
mm-hmm.
have a heavy foot. But I had to learn to slow down because Pennsylvania drivers are totally different,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's a lot of one road ways. So
Mm-hmm.
if you get stuck behind someone, you're stuck behind them. So
Yes.
I had gotten pulled over twice, and both times the officer. Well, one time I lied. I'm not gonna lie. So I was coming back from a birthday party. My son was sick and vomiting, so he let me go. No, nothing at all. But I was
Yeah, no, you
speeding,
don't
trying
want
to
to
hurry
park
up
for
and get
that.
home for no reason.
You don't want to park for that.
But like, I don't know, like I just feel like I got pulled over and it wasn't a big deal, gave me a standard ticket, you know what I mean? Like, it was never, like how you said, it was never nothing where race was involved, or I could go home and tell my husband this is what it was. If anything, they let me go. Now I will say, giving them my ID and them seeing my address, that is the closest I've came to any type of prejudice. So they would look at my address and go, oh, you're in West, something like that. Like, oh,
Surprised that
because
you
they're
made it to
surprised
West.
that I
Okay,
would
yeah, I
live
get
over
you.
there. Just like when I moved in those type of areas, and I did it primarily for schools for my boys. But when I moved into those areas, I also heard, what brings you here? And, that was a question I wasn't accustomed to, because in New York, when you move somewhere, you just move somewhere, people are either welcoming or you don't say anything at all, like a real New Yorker.
Right.
So
Come on.
I think your internet's down again, Frank.
Yeah, I don't think it's down. It's just acting shady right now.
Oh, hopefully you heard me.
Yeah,
So
no, I
yeah,
heard you. Go ahead.
good. So that's all that it really is that I just, I think sometimes I've gotten that, shock moment where they're like, oh, you live there? Oh, what brought you there? But that's pretty common, because people are always trying to figure out, one, how young I am. I get that a lot. So people are prejudiced against me, against having a 17-year-old almost, and I look like I'm his sister. So then you got that one with the whole PTA crowd. So I didn't even get caught up in the PTA.
You do.
I
You ain't
literally,
changed a
no,
bit.
I don't.
You ain't
I don't.
changed a bit.
Listen, I don't. All I do is send the food to the school and send the money, because what I'm not about to do is have you look at me in any kind of way and judge me and ask me how old am I and when did I have Tyler and all this other nonsense.
Right.
So, that's the prejudices I face,
Okay.
So
Was it difficult being a young mom for you, really?
totally. I'll be honest. I was in college doing my associates when I had Tyler, and I hid my pregnancy for like the first 5 months, because I didn't show until I was about 7 months. But I did. I hid it. And the funny thing is, like, I look at the person I am today and I'm like, I can't even believe I did that. But I did it because even though I was 21 when I had him, I had always looked younger than I was anyway. Right. So to me, I felt like I was like a teen mom, like on the damn show. What, Teen Moms, that show on MTV? I just felt like people just automatically looked at me a certain way. And I was working full time at the time and going to school full time, commuting every day with a baby in my belly. And I'm like, you're doing all of this and you're ashamed to show your damm stomach? But I was. I'm not going to lie to you. And I remember it'd be hot as hell and I was covered up.
I remember when I found out she was pregnant, I'm looking at you like, what the fuck?
Everybody did. Everybody did. And that's why I laughed at you when you was like, oh, you probably even know how to roll weed. They put your little square sign up. I had to laugh.
Like, oh, little did you know, motherfucker.
A square never tells its tails.
Yeah,
So
you're not wrong, because the truth is, I tell people all the time, like and I don't know if I've told you this. I might have told you this, but
right.
if it wasn't for you, I would not have gotten out of high school. Yeah, you were the impetus for me to stop cutting school. Mainly
Really?
because yeah. Here's the kicker. Okay, now it's partly because I was sort of sweet on you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I thought you was gonna say it's because of Kosa. You remember Miss? Because we used to Kosa. What was her
I do.
name? Miss.
But that was kind of the point. Like, but it started kind of that way. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I showed you my fucking toe. You was like, "What the fuck? You got pretty feet. Why are you out?"
I do remember you having pretty hands too, but I do remember you having.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they got some calluses now. You know what I'm saying? We do some shit.
That's all right. You had nice feet at one point.
Well, I listen. I don't know. They're still pretty good, I guess. I don't know. They scare me, so I don't worry about it. But
what was her name? Miss Gilbert. It was Miss Gilbert.
Yes, Miss Arjun, Miss Gilbert, Miss Arjun, Mrs. Sweeten, in that office.
That's right. You're right. I remember Mrs. Sweetness.
Oh, I can't remember. I can't forget Frank. That was my guy, man.
Yeah.
But right. I remember it was when you were doing the talent show.
Fun day.
Fun day. I remember hosting this moment. As a matter of fact, I found I still have the program from that night.
You have it. That's why I said I'm glad you and Jamie are like the gatekeeper of the gatekeeper. She has everything. You have everything.
I believe it. I throw shit away. I still got pictures. You know what I'm saying? I still got photos of my
1990 posters.
Well, listen, with my Shirley Temple curls, you know what I'm saying? It was right. But it was because I saw that you needed help and you weren't getting help. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the way, and I'm like, well, fuck it, I'll help.
And we did it.
Yeah. Now, then I found out that not only were you named Terrell, but you have a brother named Trevor. Now I have two brothers, one named Terrell, one named Trevor.
I remember.
All romantic thoughts out of my head because that's too weird for me.
Now that I did not know. See, you told me two things I didn't know today.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was I
knew about the name, but I didn't know that you were kind of smitten and decided not to be smitten because we were like siblings.
But I was a thug. I was just a fucking old ass dude in school. I wonder if Sincere ever graduated though.
Oh, Sincere. Are you talking about, was he dark skinned short?
No, the young lady. It was a young lady that was like there from the time I started in 97 till I left. I don't know if she was still there.
No. I'm thinking about the teacher. I'm getting it confused. The heavy Sincere. I'm thinking about somebody else.
No, she could have been a teacher. She was old enough.
She was in humanities?
She was, yeah, but she was like, I don't know. She hung around with the big tall girl, Kamisha, I forget.
Listen, don't get me started on names. I only remember the people that's on my friends list right now.
There you go. Listen, and Jamie and Laura and Crystal
and Deborah.
And Deborah. Oh, Deborah. I ain't gonna lie.
Ebony's. Don't forget both Ebony's.
Ebony's yes. Both freaking Ebony's.
Speaking of which, I got to shout out her podcast. Ebony's podcast, well, her and her team. What is it? What's the name of her podcast?
Oh, I heard her when she was on the Slang Editorial show with Cap and them. Yo, she's fucking great, man. Her podcast.
Let me tell you, and I'm gonna say something, and I hope if she hears this, she takes it as a compliment because it truly is. We started out hanging out and then got into singing group together because we both like to sing, except I didn't like the spotlight. So even to this day, I still do my little side stuff, but I don't ever tell anyone in the world.
I do remember that.
She has a beautiful voice, first of all. But Ebony always had that edge to her where it was like you knew not to mess with her, but at the same time, she had she has such a good spirit. But I remember like her just like being a thug. And when I went to the podcast, because I became a fan very quickly, I listened to it very often. But when I got to the podcast, I was like, whoa, is this Ebony? But then I guess everybody can say that about everyone, you know, because we all grew up, we all, you know, we grown now, we're mature, but she is so well spoken. She's
Yeah.
another you, Frank. I don't know
Yeah.
if you had time to
No,
check out the
I've
podcast,
heard her
but
podcast, and I am definitely a fan of hers because I think that,
yeah,
like
her
just like you
speaking
said,
voice too. She has a
she
great speaking voice.
and she has no filter
No,
whatsoever.
but listen, she's never had filter, and I'll be honest with you, that's why I always liked her, because there's no second guessing.
Nope.
She tell it like it is,
Yep.
and you ain't gonna hear from somebody else that she don't like you or got a problem with you. If she's
Right.
if something, and I really, honestly, you're another person like that too. If there's something going on, you coming to me. I don't have to worry about hearing it from nobody else. So that's probably why I still hang out with the same people now, because I got issues with meeting new people and having to.
Listen, my friends are all the same. I had
Oh,
well,
I know.
to be
Was
fair,
it Vega? Right? Am I right?
Vega, Dwayne, Ruck,
Yep.
Justin, you know what I'm saying?
Same people. I know your crew.
Same people, but the funny thing is, up here, and this is a weird thing. People have honestly, and I'm not tooting my own horn on this. People have called me the mayor of Mount Pocono
Oh, I believe
because
it.
I just I just meet people and just make them feel at home. I did an episode with a young lady who she used to be one of my customers at Walmart. I was doing an online, I bought the groceries to the car and all that shit. And she was just one of my customers, and we got to talking one day because I was the only one who would. She was very particular about her fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? That they be the most organic and best, freshest. And she was
I'm
one of
like
those.
that.
She was one of those. But you know
Mhm,
what? From
mhm.
that, we sparked a friendship.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
I had her on recently because she recently left a cult. Well, she was a
I
Jehovah's
have to
Witness.
check out that
She
one.
was a Jehovah's Witness,
Okay.
and that is a cult. Yeah, we don't
No, but
think of it.
that's a serious religion to leave out of. So I'm
it
very much interested in hearing about that.
well, it's
Okay,
season 2, episode 4. It's
I'm
on
gonna check it
YouTube.
out. I
Um,
gotta catch up. Hmm.
but it was very interesting to learn from her that, but we've developed that friendship, and we're good people. And the same is true of just a lot of different people I've met up here, and I genuinely like the people up here. You
That's
know,
good.
and I mean, I didn't feel, and I ain't gonna lie. At first, I felt a little out of place.
Oh no, that's why I left. I was there 8 years, and I felt out of place the full 8 years.
Did you
Yep.
really? Because I feel
My kids got beat up in school, like,
Did
and I'm
they
not saying
really?
kids. My middle son, yeah. I mean, there was only 2 Black kids in the school. He was
Oh,
one.
oh, damn.
So it was a lot of racial things that we had to file complaints at the gym during when they have, there's like a beautiful gym called ACA. That's the name of the gym. And they have like an indoor like swimming resort. It's beautiful, but some kids could be real cruel. Like, oh, you're Black, I
What?
can't play with Black people, or don't touch stuff because we don't want it to get contaminated. Like, they went through it.
Oh,
So
wow, really? It was like
oh yeah,
that?
that's why if you want me to be honest, that's why we actually that's part of the reason we relocated, because we realized it's not so much that they chased us out of there, but I don't want my children to feel like they're in an environment where they only have each other when you live in a community.
Well, what
Because
made
when I was growing
you
up, I had community.
right? What
Mhm.
made y'all choose that part in the first place?
So as a parent, when and I don't like to get too long into stories. I kind of get straight to the point. But I bought my house when I was 21. But I bought a 2-family in Jamaica, Queens, off of 125th Avenue,
Oh,
right off of Merrick.
right.
So you're kind of like in the heart of Farmers. You got Merrick, you got Bedford, which is right there by Rochdale Village.
Yeah.
Like it gets a little heavy.
South side.
And I don't know. For me, having 3 boys, I didn't want to raise them outside of their culture, not by any means, but I also did not want them to feel like they had to like be friends with people and I have to be careful of my words because I think sometimes I'm misunderstood, but I wanted them first to develop who they were as a person
Right.
so that they could be who they wanted to be and not feel pressured. And I don't regret the decision. So while we lived there, long story short, we had 3 bedrooms on was it 3? Yeah, 3 on the main floor. I had 2 upstairs renting to tenants, and I had tenants on the bottom in the basement. One day, the neighbor had a shootout with his friend, and the bullet brazed the back window of my middle son or my oldest son's bedroom.
Okay.
And at that point, my husband and I, we looked at each other and we was like, this is crazy. Now, meanwhile, I'm literally dropping my son to another school all the way in Woodmere, Long Island, near, not to blow up her area, but Tracy from high school.
Yeah.
She's over in that area. And I literally am taking him all the way to the school. If they wanted to go outside and play, I'm driving them all the way to a Long Island park. And I had to even question myself sometimes, like, are you ashamed of your kids playing in a community you grew up in? But it wasn't that. I just didn't feel safe. I felt like the times had changed and, there was a lot of immaturity there. Whereas when I was young, I grew up all over Queens. St. Albans, Bricktown. Bricktown's one of the worst places you could possibly think of in Queens, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
so, but the difference is those individuals they were about their business. I don't really remember the danger so much targeting young children. Right. If you were in the wrong place, wrong time, of course that would happen. Right. But I don't remember people coming up to me trying to offer me drugs and trying to shoot.
Well, that's because back then, when we was coming up, now I was born in 82.
Right.
You were born in what, 80, 85?
I'm 4.
84. Okay. So in that time, I lived in Hollis. You know what I'm saying? Right there, the 197 Hollis Ave. So that was crack cocaine, everything.
Yep.
But I still walked to school by myself from the first grade on because the hustlers on the block, they too were just like your parents, knew your parents, and was quick to tell your ass, yo, take your ass to school, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. Knowing that they were doing the opposite. Exactly.
People think, have this idea about criminality and that criminals are bad people. Not every bad person is a criminal. Not every criminal is a bad person.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? There is something you'll find that circumstances dictate action, and that's what you find with a lot of people who, especially those who hustle. You know what I mean?
You're right. You're absolutely right. But I couldn't take that gunshot. Because one, I've never experienced that. Even living in those bad neighborhoods, I heard the gunshots, but I actually never had one hit my window. Yeah. So my husband, we looked at each other and we literally for 2 years decided we were not going to have any going out of any sort. Every penny that we had, we were going to save it. And we saved it until we made a down payment on the place in PA, and we still kept the one in New York. And I chose Westchester because the schools were rated 10. And I said, there's no way I'm going to take Tyler from, all Jewish school environment, where he had, it was Jewish. I wasn't doing Jewish again, but that was the best I could do. I was using his grandfather's address, but that was the best I could do. It was either that or he had to go around the corner to PS whatever. So I was just like, I don't see it for him. One, he has ADHD. So I felt like it had to be a school that had the support system. And I hate to say it, white people kids, they get labeled all the time. They get all the IEPs they need in the world.
I don't believe it.
That's where my son needs to go.
I don't believe in ADHD. I think that's
I don't believe in it, but I know for sure my son had, and I'm gonna say had, because we worked so hard on him that he's actually able to sustain, even with medication. But he's actually able to maintain himself. When he was young, he had a hard time. He didn't learn how to tie a shoe till he was 10. Okay. Like the most simple things he struggled with. And but if you asked him a historical question, how many people were in office? I mean, who gave birth, how many kids? He knew all of that. But the simplest thing he struggled with. And if you're in a classroom of 30 something kids, the teacher does not care about your simple problems. So he had to have an IEP.
Why didn't you consider homeschool?
To be honest with you. So at the time, I was trying to get my bachelor's because I did my associates first. Okay. I had no time. By the time Tyler was 4, he already had his second brother. So I have 2 kids. I have my husband. I have tenants I'm dealing with. Sometimes they wasn't paying rent. Full-time mom working. I couldn't handle it. I'm not going to lie. My plate's always been full. I can honestly say this is the most relaxation I've had coming to Georgia as a whole, because now I'm not worried about anything. I've never been worried about school because they always went to good schools, but I'm not worried about schools. I'm not worried about, too many white people. It's very diverse here.
Well, what about the colonization of the curriculum?
I mean, there's a huge difference. I'm going to tell you that right now, because when Tatum, my middle son, he's the brainiac of the family, but when he moved here, he hated the schools here. Right. And there is a big difference from north to south.
Oh yeah, I know. They don't teach slavery in the South.
Oh, well, you want to hear something? They didn't teach slavery in Westchester,
Oh, I
but they
believe
teach
it.
it here.
Oh yeah.
It was so bad. Tayden went to he's in the 7th grade now, but he went to his 4th grade teacher and said, how come every, February we keep learning about Dr. King? He was like, how about I come to you with some more inventors that were Black or people who never got recognition. And the teacher looked at Tatum like he had 50 heads. So he's always been that kid to step outside of the box. He doesn't care about what other people think. He actually reminds me of you. He just doesn't care. He has a
I was
voice.
gonna say, I love this kid, man.
That's the one that was complimenting you. So he came
Oh
over to
man.
check out. He said, he's telling me all the stuff you got in the wall blocks outside. I'm like, all right, I know the basics. I know that. But just long story short, that's pretty much what it was. But he did struggle here. He's adjusting because of the neighborhood kids.
Okay. Oh, that
If that
helps.
answers your question. He don't really like the school. He's in all kind of accelerated programs and stuff. But when he comes home, well, he's homeschooled now, but I mean virtual learning now. But when he comes home, he loves the idea that there's a whole bunch of kids on the block he can play with.
Right.
So I think it's a good balance that he's not really worried so much about the curriculum anymore.
Yeah,
because it was a big adjustment.
I'm not gonna lie. Don't play outside up here. I ain't seen no kids yet. I live in a real nice community. I mean, I still.
Oh, they haven't come out. Nah,
yeah.
I had to. It's been a year, man. I just told him, put your mask on, stay on the bike, and do me a favor, just don't touch your face. Like they just started going out 2 weeks ago. I had to do it.
I had to listen. I had at one point. I had to work. There was sort of shut down, but the truth is, I still go to work every day. I wear my mask. I still, but now my thing was, and I feel this tremendously. Like there's no reason why Walmart and Target and all that should have been open, and these mom and pop spots should have been closed. Like that shit pissed me off because these people are never going to be able to recover from that, and that's not fair.
Right. I know. It's such a big chunk. Yeah.
And I don't care what political spectrum you adhere to. Like that really doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because I recognize that that's all. That's trickery. It's parlor tricks. It's illusion. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I said in the initial joint, like the government is supposed to fear us, the people, not the other way around. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely think there needs to be a decolonization of the school curriculum. Like,
no, you're right. But that's going to take a long time.
It's not only so much that it's going to take a long time. It's going to take progressive ideas from like-minded people to come together. And the problem is we're so concerned with sniping at one another and going back and forth. You're red, you're blue, you're this, you're that, instead of us saying, you know what? We all neighbors. Everybody on this fucking planet is interconnected. Energy is the one thing that is the constant, and we as humans are interconnected to every person and every animal and every plant in the planet itself.
You're right, but I still feel like there's two sides to that. It's going to take time. But as a parent of 3, because I can't stand when I hear the parents, I'm not referring to you, but the parents who talk about, the schools. Even when my kids were still getting the best education, they still had to come home and continue education.
Right.
But like I was talking about earlier, I'm going to all white school and explaining to them, listen, even though they're teaching you this, here's what happened. Like I think I was helping my little one. He had a history test today. And the teacher basically said the 3 branches of government are pretty much equal. And we had a deep conversation because I was like, wow, how'd she mess up with that statement? Like, so I had to be very careful because I want them to pass the test, right? Silence, because it's like, so I said, look, Terry, I can't take it no more. Look, I stopped everything I was doing. And him and my oldest son, because he's like AP history, he loves history. So we sat down and gave him like a full breakdown. And by the time he was done, he said, Mom, I understand everything I was saying, but I'm still confused for my test tomorrow. And I felt so bad because I feel like we kind of overwhelmed him in a sense. Right. But I was like, how dare you say that if that was the case, then they need to name it legislative part 1, 2, and 3 then. There are 3 different names for 3 different reasons, 3 different root words. Like we had to go through the whole drastic. So again, even though the education system may be screwed the fuck up, it is still the obligation of parents, family, community, whatever, to instill whatever they need to instill in their kids so they can survive and be functioning in the world. So I'm never pointing at the school district. I don't give a fuck because truthfully, if it completely fails, you're on your own. Just like virtual learning, when parents was going crazy. Oh, you're not doing this right. Dude, we just got hit with a pandemic. Have you been in a pandemic in your lifetime? As a Jamie's a teacher, or a guidance counselor. Laura's a
Oh, man, is
guidance
that what
counselor
she
as well.
did? She really became
That's
a
what
teacher?
her and Laura, both guidance counselors. So when I think about it, I know who my friends are to their students and how much they care. So don't sit up here and look, Jamie got 2 girls that she still has to educate in addition to your children. So
Right.
don't dare point the finger at the education system. You got a couple of months home because you're furloughed. Fucking teach your kids.
Yeah. Teach them. And stop being afraid and stop fucking being afraid to stop sugarcoating shit.
And then we don't sugarcoat here.
Stop
If
sugarcoating
anything,
shit.
look. If anything, I need to slow down because I don't sugarcoat a damn thing. I actually need to reverse it a little bit sometimes.
Well, then I guess you need to be my co-host because this is frankly speaking. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to long story short shit. I don't care how long this lasts. I haven't seen you in it forever.
Oh, thank you. I know, man, but it's so funny. You know what my mom said? I was like, "Do you know who I'm about to go on with?" She said, "Who?" I said, "Frank." And I said, "Do you?" And before I could finish saying, "Do you remember him?" She was like, "I know Frank. We're friends on Facebook. I can't forget." And my mom forgets a few people now. Like she's 71, she'll be 72. But she said, "Oh no, I remember Frank." And she's like, "You going on with him now?" I said, "Yeah."
I love your moms,
You're
man.
unforgettable.
She was one of those always sweet every time I see her, whether it would be at farm bread, fucking
Yep, and that's what she said.
wherever I seen her, she always had love, man. So
Yep.
I got nothing but love for moms, man. And
Absolutely.
I tell people all the time, like sometimes you just adopt people in your family, man, and family is a very
Yep.
important thing. And
Yep.
sometimes, it just happens organically. And
You're
that's the
right.
wonderful thing, man. And I'm very
Yeah.
happy that you're still friends with Laura and
Mhm.
Ebony and Jamie and all these. I'm
Yeah.
so happy for that because
Mhm.
it shows that the genuine spirit of each of them and you is it's
That's
real.
true.
You know what I'm
That's true.
saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
real. And I know
I
you've
would love to see Ebony though. I see my girls all the time, but Ebony, I'm just a fan at this point. I wish I could talk to her, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan of you guys' stuff. So.
she's gonna be large, yo. I
Oh
promise.
no, listen, trust me when I tell you, I think her pace went too slow, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
Because during her podcast is when I was furloughed. So I had more time. Now I'm just doing too much, but I had more time then. So I was like tuning in every time they came on. And I was like, yo, Ebony, no offense to her co-host at all, but if she wanted to, she can host on her own.
Well, she good.
And and I only say it with all honest, like I'm not saying that she doesn't need anybody or does need anyone, but she just has something that I'm trying to figure out why her ratings haven't jumped up further than what they are. And I know there's a time and place for everything, but especially during the pandemic, I could have sworn she was gonna skyrocket like right now. I know it's coming, but I thought she was gonna do it like right now.
Well, I think a lot of the times you're frozen. I think it's I don't know if it's me or not, but
The people and be understood.
yeah,
I feel like it has to be out there.
Yeah, a lot of times, especially with podcasting, I think it just takes time to gain traction with people. You know what I'm saying? Like and then you got to use social media now. There's a lot of different things to it. And listen, I do it all by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're a one-man
I
show.
shoot it, I edit it, you know what I mean? I do it all by
Yep.
myself.
Me too, all the time.
But I can't lie. This is why I prefer the in-person meetings. I prefer those because I can, you can sit on the couch, we can chill, you know what I'm saying, relax. I got the camera set up.
I watched a few of your episodes with that, and you are definitely comfortable in that zone.
Oh yeah, man, because this is what I realized, like when I was trying to be a rapper and everything, like I think this was eventually where it was all going to lead to. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know at the time. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? But I was doing a different podcast. I was up in Scranton with my boys in Foundation 101. Shout out to them cats. And it was like a panel show. You know what I'm saying? And it was great. But the problem I had with it was we didn't get enough time really to kind of flesh out topics and ideas because everybody's trying to get their opinion in, which is fantastic, but at the same time it doesn't allow for a proper discourse. You know what I'm saying? So this idea came to me like, yo, I should definitely I want to do something where it's just one on one and we sit down and we talk. But in my mind, I didn't think, damn it. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hold on.
Frank is so real. It's not even funny.
Oh, 1 second. Shit. About
You listen, you better edit the shit out of this.
I'm not editing nothing. Oh no, I don't edit shit. This is all key. We keep it all. Wear it out. They gonna get this. They gonna get this progression in work. Fuck that. But because I'm about to say his fucking name, I have to take a fucking drink every time I do. So during the pandemic, so at the very beginning of the pandemic, before like I dropped like 3 episodes and I had used because my friend Lori, she had put me onto Anchor, which is owned by Spotify. So I have like the first 3 episodes, they were just on Spotify and Anchor and iTunes and all that. And it was honestly, this started from a book I was writing called Just to Be Frank. It's basically a self-help book. And the very first episode, if you go on Spotify, you could hear it. It's basically the first 8 tenets of that book, which is the first 8 chapters, and it's shit like, do away with fear, and fucking fear is just a 4-letter word. You don't need that shit. Fuck that. Like, nothing worth doing is ever easy, but nothing easy is ever worth doing. You know what I'm saying? Like things that I live by. You know what I mean? But it's not designed to like make you money or anything. It's just designed to help enable your spirit to do more and be better and just be, you know what I mean? But I did those 3 episodes, and then where I was living at just became untenable. I had to leave. So me and my brother, we plotted a course to get this crib here and shit, and we got it. We moved in September, and then I started filming them for YouTube. So the reason, but what happened was, so like late 2019, I'd be on YouTube watching Bill Maher.
I love Bill Maher.
I do too. and I fell down the rabbit hole one day, and the very next video was Bill Maher on the Joe Rogan Experience, and I'm like, Joe Rogan, scratching my head like Joe Rogan, the Fear Factor dude. Like this, like in my mind, like the Fear Factor guy. This motherfucker. Okay, so I hit the fucking joint and I watched. It was just one of the clips, but I sat there and I really listened to it. I was like, holy shit, this is cool. Like, he said, all right. So then the next video after that was the full episode, and by the time it was over, I didn't realize the 2 hours had passed. So I was like, oh shit, it can work as long as the conversation is interesting. And then the next episode was, I think, with like Nikki Glaser or Joey D. And like, I just fell down the rabbit hole of Joe Rogan, and I didn't know anything about him prior to that, other than he was the Fear Factor guy, and he was on Chappelle's show that one time. Didn't know he was a stand-up comic, didn't know he was a martial artist, didn't know he was on Chappelle's show, because him and Chappelle are really good friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
can see why.
Yeah, I didn't know any of this. Now it's like, oh shit, but his podcast opened up the idea that this 3-hour conversation could work. As long as, and now that I've, Joe Rogan, thank you for inspiring this shit. Johnny Walker.
Woo, go ahead, Frank. Still hold down the mic. Go ahead.
This is the fun. Like, I can't lie. This is why I enjoy doing this. I get to talk to my friends and just
be you.
Yeah, man. And as you see, ain't much changed.
No, but that's what I love about you. It never was phony. It never was fake. So
man, the only thing that's different is my hair is shorter. That's it.
I was gonna say, and it looks like that was something that you had to do. I don't think it was necessarily like you wanted to. It looked like you needed to just trim some ends, but if it grows extra long, you're gonna let it go there again, right?
Well, no. What happened was, one day I had spent like a good 2 hours blow drying my hair out and all that shit, and I was just annoyed by the process. I was just tired. I didn't know what to do, so I just started waking up and letting it go. Just wash it, rinse it, whatever, just shower, let it
Whatever it
go.
did.
I just
Mm-hmm.
let it go. So it started locking, started doing the freeform thing. So I was like, okay, I'll just let it do that. So I let it do that for like a good year, maybe
Mm-hmm.
2 years. And then in the midst of the pandemic, I'm like, all right, I really want to lock it properly this time. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I just basically cut it all off to start from scratch. And
Oh, okay.
this is where I'm at now, man.
Mm-hmm.
But
See, but that's my point. You had to do it. It's not something you necessarily was
yeah,
planning on doing. So
yeah,
if it
no,
grows out, you're gonna let it grow back.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I
I
know some.
because I look weird without hair.
I don't think so.
My head
But
is
okay.
shaped funny, man.
So is the rest of the population. It's something wrong with everybody's head. I slept on my right side too much, so the right side of my head from the back to the side is permanently flatter than the other side, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I discovered that when I decided to shave off my hair, being as adventurous as I am, and I said I will never do that shit again because I had no idea. I would shave it low, but not low enough to where you see scalp in the head shape.
And what did
So
you do?
you
You
can
took a
shave it
razor
low and
to
not
it?
see.
Like
Shit, I just took it all off, man. I
what
don't care. I have an I don't care attitude. I don't
oh
care.
wow, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I don't give a damn.
But that's
Clearly.
but that's what kind of makes you good at what you do. Like you still
Mhm.
do you do makeup.
No,
You're not doing the makeup artistry
I
no
have
more?
not touched. The last face I have touched was Jack A. Harry, March 18, 2018.
Jesus, I remember that. Oh, wait, wow, that was a long.
I know. And a lot of people don't know that except for the people who inboxed me and was so heartbroken that I stopped.
Why
But
did
I
you
had to be,
stop?
ah, I'm an honest person. So when I did my last tour, I was gone for 3 months. It was supposed to be straight, but I think it was the hurricane that happened that caused us to have like a 1 week gap in Texas. So I ended up coming home for that week. And at that point, my husband was like, listen, I didn't get married to be home every night by myself. And then I had Terry's teachers who I had already told prior to me leaving, here's what the situation is. I'm going to keep in contact because, I'm big with my kids. But Terry was so small at the time. He was in kindergarten. He just was like, he's 8 now, but he was like, Mom, telling the teacher she's going to be back in 3 years when we had a long conversation. It's 3 months, I'll be back. So it started to affect him in school. So I was just like, oh, let me take it back to the original plan, how I started makeup, which I hated. I went back into doing bridals and stuff like that. And I wasn't happy, not going to lie. I
Mm-hmm.
had to let go of a major contract. So but it was more so, my kids didn't ask to be here. I chose to get married. So I was like, in the next lifetime, so I kind of found not even my second love. My first love, the funny thing is singing. My
Right.
second is cooking. Makeup fell third
Right.
because I found that the other two are always there. I just never really shared it because I don't like the spotlight. So for me, makeup was a way for me to be creative, but I didn't have to be in front of the camera, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I
That's
get
why
it.
YouTube didn't work out for me, I think, because when, I saw the viewership starting to go up, I didn't like the idea that you had to necessarily start entertaining your fans in a sense of letting them in on a personal note. I felt like it was an artist channel. You come to learn how to do makeup,
Well, you don't.
but YouTube
Do
was
you
turning
really have
people.
to let them in personally like
I'm gonna
that?
tell you why you have to. YouTube, I started YouTube in 2012. Around 2016, YouTube took this turn where now people wanted, if you were a makeup anything enthusiast, anything, an affiliate for a makeup company or a makeup artist celebrity, they wanted in on your day-to-day life, as an artist, but entail your whole day is not of artistry.
Right.
So you have that aspect. Then you have the aspect of, oh, they go through the trends. I want to see your husband do your makeup. And how YouTube works is that if you have viewership and those people are, commenting and giving you the attention and sharing your videos, after a while you have to start answering those requests. And
Right.
nobody can tell me different. That's how YouTube is.
Well,
That's why you'll
that's
see them
not.
put.
Well, maybe that's why Joe Rogan finally went to Spotify and left YouTube,
No,
perhaps.
I'm telling you, eventually, if you look at comments, because I read a lot, but if you look at comments, even the people who are putting the content out, they will say, "Let me know the next video you want to see." When you
Right.
give your audience that type of power, you cannot knock them when they ask you to do something that's out of what you want to do. That's why I never asked the question, but the questions started coming. You know, we want to see your husband do your makeup. How many kids do you have? Oh, what are you wearing in your closet? You want to see your closet. Now, a lot of people, when I first started doing like real estate and stuff, that's another thing I did on the side nobody knew about. But people was like, oh, you never tell people what you're doing. But I'm just the person that moves in silence because I truly do it for myself. I don't do it for other people. Right. If you ask me and I can help you, I will, but I'm just never one to volunteer and show off, oh, look at my house. And, you know, and that brings me to this past Christmas. I post my tree every year because I actually love Halloween first, then Christmas, because I like the decoration. Yeah, because, you know, you get to be somebody, you know, without being apologetic, you know. Right. But Christmas came and I just thought it was nice to post my annual tree. Now, I posted a tree last year, 2019, 2020, because we had just moved October, so I didn't have time to put up a tree that year. But last year I posted a tree, but it wasn't as noticeable, I guess, because the tree was small. But I had just moved, you know, still trying to get in the loop. This year I posted the tree and oh my God, so many people inboxed me. Oh, you have such a beautiful home, da, da, da. And then my husband came to me and he's like, Terrell, you never post the inside of our house. Why'd you do that? Right. And two things happened at that moment. I actually post the tree every year. I actually even post our family photos, which is always in our living room. So I said, what made this year so different? I even recorded the kids, you know, on their bikes and stuff. And then I got an inbox with that. Oh, wow, your home is so beautiful. And then people started asking, can I see it? That is when I said to myself, maybe that's what my husband meant, because no one cared about the tree last year. I don't know if it's because of the size, but it was actually in the same place that the 2020 tree was, if that makes sense.
Right, no, I get you. Yeah.
So, you know, and I'm not going to lie, that kind of, I was like, oh God, I'm not posting nothing no more. Like, you know, because I just don't like the extra added, I don't want to call it drama, but I do call it drama. Like, you know, because if somebody posts a tree, oh, the tree's nice, move on. You know, I'm not trying
to post on social media much.
I don't know. And when I do post, it's never of me. The only reason why you probably would have seen me the most is on the Majesh page. And that's because it was my business. I had to. Right. As a celebrity makeup artist, I had to post so I can get repeat business and put myself out there. But can I be honest with you? Every minute of it, I hate it. I love my little personal, you know, page on Instagram. I could post the things that I truly care about, which is like food, and I love kids. So I post my kids, my godchildren, you know, my little cousins. That's the type of stuff I like post, you know. So, but again, that's why a lot of things I love to do, I can't really do them because they involve the spotlight. I love to sing, but there's no way you get me to get a mic and have people stare at me while I'm singing.
So what are you doing now?
So now I actually work for a health network called Nuance, and I basically do tech support for the My Chart. So I'm assisting doctors, you know, patients with how to get through their virtual visits, how to install software to their computer, teaching the doctors how to use their system. So that is what I'm doing full time. And I've been doing that pretty much since I got here, except when I was furloughed. I was on the dental end. So I decided to leave, not to get furloughed again. So now I'm on the medical end. Okay. So same thing though. So that's what I do. And I got my little side cooking business, but I don't know where I really want that to go yet. So I just got a separate page and I love to cook and I just post on there when people order, like Deborah, shout out to Deborah Young. She just ordered, her shipment went out today. So when people order, I bake because I love to do it. So that's it. I'm gonna send you some stuff too.
I was gonna say, you know what I'm saying? Let me promote it. I'll eat it live on camera like a slovenly bastard.
Nah, I gotta send it anyway. Not even just to send it. I gotta send my buddy some cookies. Word. I might have to send you a different type of cookies since I'm a square.
Hey. Yo, listen, man. I remember the first time we had a bed together. That shit I can't lie, that kind of freaked me out. Because
and I don't even like beers.
Yeah, no. I mean, we was drinking Smirnoff Ices. So we was drinking Smirnoff Ices. But it was like, it was just so different. And I'm glad and proud to be able to have you here and on, you know what I'm saying? And
awesome. I'm glad to be here.
Listen, man, I'm just very happy for you. I'm proud of you because no matter what you do, I'm always proud of you.
Yeah, but I do too much.
Listen, you might do a little bit too much, but there's no such thing. As long as you have the life to do it, go for it, man. Go for it.
Right,
Nobody, you know what I mean? Don't put no limitations on yourself.
Oh no, but that's the problem. I don't. My husband was like, Terrell, I think every interview you've ever done, you've done the job. I've been a life enrichment manager at a nursing home. I'm trying to think of, I've done IT support, makeup artistry, like you name it. Taught my own classes at an institute. Like I just need to find something and calm down a little bit, So that's why I just do my little baking and I do my
Card
9 to 5
games
and
and
log
all
off.
that. I mean, listen, if you have the joy in your heart to do something, that
Mm-hmm.
just do it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Until you're like, man, I don't feel like doing it anymore. And then don't,
Yeah.
you know?
But that's been my story, Frank. And I feel like, my kids are getting a little older now and I already know what that retirement's gonna look like because my husband and I said we selling this fucking house and we're gonna be backpacking from country to country.
That's
Cause
my goal.
I like to travel and I don't like stationary. I
I
love my
mean,
home. Don't let me not say that. I just said when I get older, I'm downgrading. No more big houses. I don't want to clean. I just want to, live out my backpack and make sure I can have access to all my shoes because I'm
so
a
you want
shoe
a
girl.
motorhome, basically.
That's it.
You want
Yeah,
to?
that's
I ain't gonna lie.
it.
Ultimately, I think when I leave Pennsylvania, it'll probably be for either Colorado, Texas, or Alaska first for about 3 or 5
I
years.
could so see you in Colorado chilling.
Literally and
I can
figuratively.
actually see you in
Totally.
Alaska, but I do feel like if you go there, you're never leaving. Something just tells me you're gonna fall in love with something in particular, and that is sort of scary.
Well, ultimately, what do you think I'm going to fall in love with? Wait.
It for you, Frank, it could be anything. It probably will be, I don't know, the moments of the iciest weather.
The
You
Aurora
probably wouldn't even
Borealis.
appreciate when it gets warm. You probably just go, no, it has to be when I moved here, that exact weather. I need the ice, I need the bergs.
I
I
do.
just see
I
you,
do like that shit.
you
But
like nature.
I think ultimately I might settle down in Africa.
That's good to hear.
Ultimately, I think that'll be my very last stop because I don't think I'll ever live in New York again.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm never going north.
You know what I'm saying?
Just
But I don't want to live in the South, but
hmm.
I definitely, I don't know. Texas maybe. You know what I'm saying? Because I
I
like,
said Texas, but I'm glad I didn't say Texas because the schools are here with me.
yeah, yeah, they're
I do a
very.
lot of research for schools first. So.
But I have a friend. She has like and my friend Tamika. She'll be on the we'll record on the 16th, so it'll be out like 2 weeks after that.
Okay.
Because that's my scheduling. Uh, but no, she has like her Camp Wakanda, and she does the homeschooling of her kids and everything. And
Mm,
there are
nice.
people. Yeah, it's a good curriculum and it's a good program, and I think and I've noticed a lot of that happening now, where people are starting to do this community schooling sort of deal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think that's a good thing. I think that martial arts need to be incorporated into these teachings because
Okay.
I think martial arts is probably one of the best things that anybody can use.
I
Because
actually agree with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
it has a way of humbling you if you're, especially if you're like a bully or somebody like
Yep.
that. When you're humbled
Yep.
that first time, that shit'll knock that shit right the fuck out of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's a good thing, especially for young ladies. I think every young lady should know how to defend herself.
Oh, I went to Jackson. I'm good.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, you fine. Like this is what I'm saying. Like I ain't worried about you. I ain't worried about you. Shit, Jamie mad pretty. I think she'll lay somebody the fuck out.
Yeah, Jamie, let me say, Jamie got a crazy side to her.
I
That
believe.
sweetness, that quietness, that's what they tell you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
This is
my,
surprising to
my
me.
girl, my girl is
This
all
is
right with me.
this is surprising to me. And yeah, right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Listen, I think the only one that I might be like, all right, maybe she can't fight is Crystal, and that's only because she's mad dainty.
That's another one. See,
See,
yeah,
I'm wrong, and
underestimated.
I'm
The
okay with
funny
being
thing is,
wrong.
no, see, I got to get you where you at because we actually had a fight in
Oh
high school.
shit!
So, and nobody knows that. Just the elite knows
Did y'all
that. But
really?
we fought on her living room sofa. So Crystal gets down too. Don't sleep on, oh, she wears heels and everything has to be addressed. And
She always reminded me of my mom. like mad
Really?
classy and all that. So I am now
She is
forced to
classy.
ask, why did
She's
y'all
definitely
fight?
classy.
Why
Yeah,
did
she
y'all
definitely is
fight?
classy, but she don't play either.
No, I believe it. I believe it. I have no problem
It's
believing it.
so funny because I even now look at Jamie, I'm like, she was my first. We actually met first. We were the first of Elite. So I don't know if you know, but that's what we call the
Oh,
group. But
I think I can figure it out. Come on.
yeah, so we were like the first, and I think it was Laura who came in with Crystal, and Taisha came last. Like literally around the fashion show time is when Taisha came. But Jamie, we met the first day of school. And the funny thing is, everyone always thought she was quiet, but for some reason, when me and her got together, it was just like, it was just listen, nonstop, chitter chatter, chatter chatter. That was my girl. We did everything together, even to this day. You know, you have your group, right? But you're gonna have people who are closer than others. So I actually speak to Jamie and Taisha more than I speak to Crystal. And the
Mhm.
funny thing is, I'm Crystal's first son's godmother. So it just shows you like you can be close still, but you know, you go in loops, you know. 1 minute me and Laura were inseparable when I lived in New York and then part of PA. And then I moved here and then now it's me and Jamie. So, you know, and me and Taisha. And she's a
Yeah.
news reporter, by the way.
What?
Shout out to my bestie. I'm so proud.
She's a news reporter where?
She's been a news reporter in 4 states now. She's in Texas for KPC2, if I said it right. I hope I said it right.
My pencil, I gotta write that down. I need to
Yeah,
see.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Oh,
Just
come
to
on.
make sure. Don't even write it down. I'm gonna make sure I ask you.
What's her last
She's
name?
a,
Everett?
huh?
What's her last name? Everett?
Oh, Taisha Walker.
Walker.
Yeah, look her up. Taisha Walker, KPC2 News in Texas. She's on the field live reporter.
Oh,
Reporter.
that's so
And then you got
dope.
Laura, who is full blown counselor. When I tell you counselor, homegirl is like full blown counselor.
All right, man.
So they all doing good, man.
That's
All doing
dope.
good.
You
All doing good.
you tell them all I send my love and my appreciation for them because they like the truth is they all you know y'all all were very very special to me because you all were very very kind to me when you didn't have to be.
Oh no, let me tell you something, Frank. I had to be nice to my Frankie.
You know what I'm
Sorry.
saying? Oh, please. You, like I said, man, like you like my little sister, man. I love you to death, man.
Yeah.
But you gotta tell Taisha that she got to come on this podcast. We got to talk. That's interesting.
Yeah, you trust me, if you just with Ty, her schedule's
Oh yeah,
very hectic.
of course.
Has like that graveyard weird shift. It changes all the time.
I'm sure.
Move back, babe. Yeah, I'm trying to get my husband to move back and back the cars into the driveway. All right, there we go.
This, this is the most human thing I've ever had happen on the podcast. I've had my tarot card read. I haven't done shrooms on the podcast yet, so we'll see. Yeah, that's crazy. She's a newscaster. You got guidance counselors and newscasters. Yo, shout out to Taisha Walker from what is this? KP23 News in Texas.
Yeah, see, it's KP3 too. See, I forgot
KP32. All right, my fault. Well, that's why I wrote it in pencil.
No. I didn't realize it was 3. So correction on my part. My bad.
KP32 News.
Mm-hmm. Check her out though. The content's always good. Is always real.
Yeah, man. That's something I definitely respect, and that's kind of another reason I wanted to do this because I guess in some life I wanted to be a talk show host.
Right. I can still see it.
I wanted to be in talk shows, but I don't want to. But see, my thing is, I enjoy doing the podcast because can't nobody tell me who to talk to, how to talk to them, what questions to ask. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this. Like honestly, like I said, I just get to sit down with my friends and talk. I don't have to have anybody Oh,
You're
hey,
right.
don't forget this person or that. But listen, I talk to who the hell I want to talk to. I want to
You're
talk to
right.
everybody from all. Well, I want to talk to people who I don't
Exactly.
agree with. I don't care.
Exactly. And if you don't like it, then don't listen.
Don't listen. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
somebody's out there listening. I got a bunch of UK people listening. I like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because I found this
They
app.
always love us, by the way.
Oh, they
UK always love.
do. They
They love
do.
American music. They just always representing. So.
My friend Safi, and I met her on this on weirdly enough on this app, not that's like sort of Plenty of Fish, but it's not.
Mhm.
It's like they're connected, but it's a different app altogether called Meet Me. And a couple episodes I've had with some of the people I've met on there.
Mhm.
But it's just such a dynamic tool. And I think it's the next wave of social media in that it's about to get away from texting and Twitter and character. And,
Mhm.
it's going to get into more live streaming where, especially during times
Right.
like these. But what I'm also looking forward to is if we look at it historically, after the
Mhm.
1918 pandemic, what do we have? We had the Roaring 20s.
Mhm.
So chances are there's about to be a lot of great art, great literature, and a lot of babies coming out of this whole
Oh.
quarantine shit, man. Except for
Uh,
me, apparently, because I,
first,
you know,
first of all, there's definitely gonna be a lot of babies because Bruno Mars just joined forces with what's his name? Uh, ah, he's one of my favorite artists right now. He's on the tip of my tongue. Can't think of him, but they just became one group.
oh,
It's gonna come back to me,
okay.
but and they're out. Their first track already, first single is "Baby Making Music."
Oh shit! Damn it!
I said,
That good
oh,
old '90s R and
like
B.
Bruno Mars, like why'd you do that? Seriously. Let me see.
Because
What's his name? Anderson .Paak. There you go. It just came to me.
okay. Oh, that's gonna be a
Anderson .Paak
fantastic.
and Bruno Mars are now an official group with a band.
Oh,
They already
I'm
have their first. You have to go check
I
out the
gotta check
video.
it out. I'll go on Spotify and listen
Oh,
because I
as
am a
soon as it
fan of
came on, I was
Anderson
like, this
.Paak.
is the type of music that I miss.
Is it a '90s R&B? Because Vega put out a song
No,
called
it's not
'90s
even 90s
R&B.
R&B. They took it back to my brother's era. I'm in the 80s. My brothers are 13 and 15 years older than me. So it's like that 70s where
'60s, '70s vibe, doo
you had
wop
those
type,
what do you call those jackets with the lamb skin, the lamb fur balls on the inside, the bombers jackets and
like Letterman jackets and all that.
aviator, like you can
Oh,
tell that that's where they're
wow.
headed. Like they look great. And
Some
honestly, I
classic
wanted to
shit.
have a baby again after
Okay.
listening to that shit.
Okay. Well,
So,
hey, listen, I've been single for the better part of 10 years, so Lord knows.
God bless you, Frank. That is
No,
why you look as good as you do.
God bless
No
me
stress.
nothing. Well, all right, that's fair, true, yes. But Frank
Go
wants
when
some
you
kids.
please.
Frank wants some
Do what
kids.
you want.
I'm about to be
Yeah,
40.
and you would be, no, I'm not gonna lie, you would be a great father. You would, but you may not need the headache of the wife.
I'm not worried. See, here's the thing. I'm not worried about that because the truth is, I smoke pot. I don't care. You want to go out? You want to go out? You want to go party? Okay, cool. That means you're gonna leave me here. I'm alone. Cool. See you later. But just make sure you get home safely. Text me when you get home. If I'm awake, please wake me up.
So stupid.
Like, oh, I don't. You don't want me to go with you? Oh, thank you. I love you. Like, come
So
on.
stupid.
Oh, I gotta go. Okay, fine. Just pick out what you want me to wear, cause
Yeah,
I don't care enough to want to do that.
exactly.
You know. I'm easy. I'm an easy guy, man. Like I don't have the qualms of most people. I don't care about minuscule shit. The only thing I care about is are you safe? Are you coming home? That's
Yeah,
it.
see, you would be an ideal the husband then. Awesome husband.
I mean, go out, have it. Because I mean, shit, I'm going to sit on here and just record episodes, you know what I'm saying? And sit here with a baby, like, yeah, he's the co host for the day. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you'll be a great dad though. It's gonna come. The right person's coming along soon.
I keep hoping, but I'm keeping the heart open and we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? But wait until I close it. Ooh, the bad guy. No, just stop. Are you having any more?
No. We're done over here. Shops closed, been closed. That's why my son's 8 years old and I no longer have a 4-year gap. I'm no longer on the market. She's not on the market to have no more children. And that is the answer to that. So So there you go. That ship has passed. It has went. It has sunk. It has come back up because they pulled it out and found out somebody dropped it below the water. I'm good. Okay, we good. I got a 4-year gap between each kid as they were planned out, and I am done.
I mean, that's the gap between me and my siblings, 4 years.
Yeah, man. So, I didn't give natural birth. I had C-section, so I had to kind of plan mine out, but I'm done.
Oh, why couldn't you didn't do the natural thing?
Nah, Tyler, and that's why I said Tyler's he's the kid that I'm just like, wow, I grew up with you, but at the same time, I learned so much from you. He almost died at birth. I had a ruptured placenta. He pretty much, his heart rate had dropped and couldn't maintain his own body temperature by the time they took him out. So my water broke. I thought I was peeing and I went back to sleep. It didn't hit me till the contractions hit me. And then I was like, wait a minute, I got to go to the hospital. By then it was a little too late. So that's my miracle baby there. He was actually born with hypoxic. I never could say it right, but it's hypoxic encephalopathy. It's like some crazy, and it just basically means lack of oxygen to the brain. He was one of the first babies at Long Island Jewish to have like the cooling cap study. They use a cooling cap on him and the shit saved his life. Reduced brain swelling drastically. And from that, all he has is a little bit of attention disorder, and that's why he takes the medication. So he does pretty good.
Was that canned photos?
Yep. He just said, what's up?
What's poppin', good sir?
We on his podcast.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the Just to Be Frank podcast, sir. I appreciate you for stopping by, man. How are you?
Well, I don't want to be on no podcast. I'm very low key with it, so I'm in and out, man. How you been?
Listen, you know what? The best villains are. I ain't mad at you, good sir.
How you been, man?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I can't complain, man. All my parts still work, so I'm happy, man.
That's what you get.
He was just hitting up a blunt just now, right in the middle of the class, just roll it out.
Turn it up. That's all I asked for, man. That's it, man. Yeah. Blessings, man. Listen, like I said, man, I'm gonna let you go be with the family, man. But I'm thanking you for doing this. We'll have to do it again.
Yes, Frank. I have fun, man. And listen, between you and Ebony, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to just say the words. Oh, I know the both of them, but I know him very well.
Listen, man, you are more than welcome anytime. Yeah. If you ever decide y'all want to travel on up, come on up to the Poconos. You decide you missed the Poconos, just stop on by. We'll barbecue. We'll eat some food.
That sounds good, but we're not eating none of that shit. You be out there hunting. So
why not? You can eat.
Remember, we don't eat no meat over here.
You don't eat no meat. Listen,
you're gonna have to put them veggies real hard on the grill.
Listen, I can grill a good veggie though. Hold on.
Okay,
now.
good. That's what we
zucchini
need.
And
that's what we need.
You know what I'm saying? I can make some things with that. I can do some things. Listen, the truth is, I have added some vegan dietary items to my diet. I do like vegan food. I love vegan Italian sausage.
Yes, me too.
Love that shit. Mm-hmm. But I'm leery about a lot of plant-based products and where they source. You know what I'm saying? I'm leery.
Oh yeah, of course you should be. But that's why we were talking about the whole source your own food, and that's the point of me doing the garden indoors and you starting to do your hunting and gardening. That's the whole point of it. You can eliminate all that. Same thing like preservatives.
Right. If I can grow my beans and get that going and all, get the, because I ain't gonna lie, I love salmon cakes, but I stopped using like egg in them. I started using like red beans to keep man. Oh, it makes you go to the bathroom though. I can't lie.
Well, no, you need to go. You need to cleanse, especially now. So ain't nothing wrong with it.
But I also learned that you can overdo kale.
That happened to me already because I grew it and I was eating it every day, and I said, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, give you kidney stones. But and then there's a big difference between like liquefying food, the fruits and vegetables, and then eating them. Like your body absorbs it differently depending on how you intake it.
That's why I started juicing more. Right.
Yeah. But you know what? You should probably. They say juicing is probably worse because it puts more sugar. It extracts more of the sugar. Really? Yeah, like it's
blending too, because I usually blend in. Sure, I just put the whole cucumber in the blender.
No, yeah, well, definitely, but like especially like things like bananas. You know what I'm saying? Like those will.
No, I'm not. No, I'm talking about veggies.
Well, yeah, I mean, you juice anything. Yeah. I juice fruits and vegetables. What's wrong? But I'm also one of those people that I will eat the entire apple.
Oh yeah.
Like No, I mean.
What do you mean the entire? You scared me with that.
Core seeds.
Oh, you mean the core, the
all that
seeds.
shit.
Oh, that's different.
I eat the kiwi skin. Like, I love that shit. The furry shit. I'll eat the fuck out of it. Yeah, because I think of it, because I'm thinking of it, mango skin even. Because I'm thinking of it.
Yeah, I eat mango skin. Yeah, but the furry part. I don't think I can get with the furry.
Because it's only weird. It's only weird if you think about it. But what I'll do is I think of it like this: if I'm an ape in the jungle, am I trying to peel this sumbitch? No, I'm just gonna bite into it. Apes are big and diesel and muscular and fucking could kill you with a swipe. And all they eat, is fruits and vegetables.
Stop threatening me.
I'm not. I'm just saying. Like, gorillas are like massive amounts of muscle, and all they eat is fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? So from that diet, but what are they getting from where they're eating? Well, they're getting all the nutrients from the seed.
You're right. You're right. And the skin. The skin.
You know what I'm saying?
I love kiwi. I wish I didn't have such an allergic reaction to citrus because I'll eat it, but I struggle. Pineapple, I can't touch. No. And I love pineapple, man, but I cannot.
You can't eat it.
Man, it's too much. So, that's the only thing with me. It's just the citric that kind of gets the citric acid, that stuff that gets me the most. So eating the skin of the kiwi would probably kill me. So
probably. Now, did that develop over time, or is that something you've always had?
No, since a kid, always. And it's funny because growing up in the hood, my mom wasn't buying pineapples. That wasn't the first choice of fruit. It was more like an apple, orange. You kind of grab it, latchkey kid type of food. But when I got older, I noticed I was like, dang, every time I eat a piece of pineapple, I get bad rash around my mouth. I break out into hives. My skin, like literally, I'll cut the pineapple and my skin will rip. Like I get slits on my hand from just slicing it, and it's burning for days. I'm like, what in the? So I cut back on it, but I, every now and then I'll try to treat them to it, but we have to eat it out the cup because I like pineapple. So I'll get the one with 100% water, so I could at least get some pineapple at some point in life.
Man,
but I can't.
I love drinking pineapple juice. I will eat a pineapple whole. I love that. I love fruits and vegetables, and I I wasn't like that as a kid, but I was always that kid that liked Brussels sprouts. So.
Oh, you did? See, and I started liking that stuff when I was older. I didn't like it when I was a kid, but now I like everything. Okra, I eat it all.
Oh, I love okra. Oh my God. I'm waiting for okra to come back in the season because we got the farmers markets around here. So
and that's something I missed. The Highland Orchard by us right up the road. We used to walk and no pesticides, nothing sprayed. You get just regular fruit. Oh, Terry wants to say hi. Hi, Terry.
Hey, what's up, young fella? How are you?
Mr. Frank for you.
No, Frank is fine.
He don't like the Mr. Frank one there.
Yeah, Frank is fine. You could even call me just Starfire. I'm okay with that.
How does Frank and Starfire match up?
They're two different names. That's like Majaj and Terrell.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, he said, oh.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's easy, man. Like, Frank works for me. I ain't gotta be Mr. anything. You know what I'm saying?
We went to high school together.
Yes.
Because he was asking me so many times during the call, who is that? I never talked to guys. So who is that? Got boys around me,
Oh yeah, man. Listen, I've known your mom a very long time. She's one of my dearest friends. She's like my little sister. You know what I'm saying? And she also has a brother named Trevor, just like I do, which is still the weirdest thing on the planet. But I also have a brother named Terrell, so it's very weird. Right. Yeah, exactly. That face.
Exactly. Yeah, he was like, so Terrell and Trevor? I'm like, yeah.
Yep.
And do you like games?
I do. Skyrim, Fallout, Until Dawn, yeah. Fortnite, I can't really get into, but I do like Rocket League. I think that's actually very fun. I do. I'm a weird. Listen, man.
Then you would like my friend Avery and his dad. They play.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah, you heard what he said about your background. Well, Frank, he said you must play games with that background.
Yes, sir. Listen, man. Final Fantasy. Listen, the truth is I've been gaming since I was knee-high to a knee-high. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, what?
Yeah, he had that poster up there since the 90s.
Oh, yeah. This right here.
Look, he said it didn't fall off. Well, not in that place.
Not in that position, no.
From that time.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I've kept that. I've got this cool painting of Raphael over there, the Ninja Turtle. I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Batman is my favorite. As you can see, I got Batman, Harley, Wolverine. Yeah, man. Listen, I'll still play Mario Brothers, but Skyrim, I love that game because I can shoot lightning and ice out of my hands, and that's exciting to me because it's something I've always wanted to do in real life because I'm weird.
You heard what he said? No, you're not weird.
I
like all gamers really want some type of power.
You know what? You are too smart for your own good, and I appreciate you, and I love it because keep that mentality, little man. You keep that. I appreciate that.
You are smart, Tony.
I listen, man.
He's like, I'm not that smart. He's always comparing himself to his brothers, but you are smart.
Listen,
you're just 8 right now. You haven't developed everything yet. You're smart.
And the truth is, intelligence, it's not just a matter of what you know. It's also recognizing that you can always learn more. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge, learning never ends. I'm 38 years old, and I learn something new every day. I try to learn something new every day because knowledge is our greatest gift. You know what I'm saying? Learning is the best thing that we can give to anybody because it's the one commodity aside from time that you can always share with people. You know what I'm saying? And knowledge is always a good thing. So don't ever think that you're not smart enough. You're smart in your way. You know what I'm saying? Know what you know.
Right.
You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? And there's no shame in that ever.
Yep.
Why do you look like you're a YouTuber?
Oh, Frank might end up on YouTube.
Technically, I am on YouTube.
He does have some shows on YouTube though.
Yeah, this episode will be on YouTube.
Oh, see, so he said, why does it look like you're on YouTube?
Oh, well, because I have a good camera. this is a good camera now. That's all. It's computer tricks, man. Believe me, I don't look this way in real life. I'm prettier.
Why would you change your camera to prettier?
I don't know.
Frank, man, you're the best, man.
I try, man. Listen, y'all have a blessed one, man.
Yes,
really
yes. Listen, feel free to edit, okay? Jesus, edit because I was not preparing.
I might have to cut that part out just because YouTube has a thing about kids appearing in videos.
Well, no. Well, I know you know better than that. I'm talking about us. Cut, chop, chop.
No. It's presented as it is. This is Frank Talk with Frank Starfire. This is Terrell Nurse for Frank Starfire. This is the Just to Be Frank podcast. I want to thank y'all so much for joining us in this episode, man. Peace out. One love. Abracadabra.
Later.